There is a mystery behind India history. Ha Sahib take we from the ancient country.
Namaskar. Good day, colleagues, friends, all. I will use my brief minute to call out to the tech giants of the Indian diaspora who stand at the gateway of corporations that are pivotal to our efforts and join me in creating a charter of reversal of the Macaulay Minute. 1 minute of combined power that will reverse the damaging impacts of Macaulay's policy minute that has echoed colonial policy for almost 200 years and still resonates into every sphere of our lives today. My call to action are to Indians and persons of the Indian diaspora, along with any others who wish to join. But these specifically who are now shaping the tech empire, to these Indians and persons of Indian origin of the world's largest diaspora, who are now at the helm of shaping our future world. And any others who wish to join us, specifically but not limited to Sundar Pichai of Google, Satya Nadella of Microsoft, Arvind Krishna of IBM, Santanu Narayan of Adobe, Sanjay Malhotra of Micron, Vasan Narasimhana of Novartis, Nikesh Arora of Palo Alto, George Kuran of NetApp, Neil Mohan of YouTube, Jayashree Ulal of Arista, Bilal Bajrajai of Netflix. And these are not all, but these are ones who are in positions to help us make a difference. And yes, Elon Musk too, who claims Indian affiliation by proxy of his son's heritage.
Be stronger than we build up the land again. Giving is your dharma.
One Macaulay Minute reprogrammed, rewired, and colonized humanity, truncating our sense of time, space, identities, and our sense of place in the universal chain of being. It erased our understanding and practice of communal law, governance, politics, wealth distribution, financial management, science, and the art of civilization, development, and progress. Millions were erased, languages lost, practices and beliefs cut down, criminalized, what they didn't understand, books, culture, speech and language, drumming and rituals that still remain on law books. It redefined and relabeled inferior language, taste, nations, cultures, beliefs.
Whether
it is curry chicken or chicken curry, we will have pandemics, macaroni pie, and fries. We're at war.
It replaced reverence for land with new label of real estate to be sliced up and redistributed to pirates and profiteers. Awe of the sea became law of the sea. Across its empires, it planted on our landscapes the holy trinity of colonization, all meant to contain, control, reduce the governor's house or plantation house, the church, the jail. Traditional sciences were branded as primitive, and our cosmologies that conveyed history were transformed to myth. It promoted merchant, that is the Western slang for merchandising of research, scholarship, awards, and recognitions, production and dissemination of knowledge, products and materials, perpetuates its belief systems, and for the commercial benefit of knowledge economies of the empires, while crippling independent thought that we still all feel today. It trumped the erasure of diversity and set the world to run on a monotonous drone of monocultural replication, regurgitation, and repetition. That 1 minute still echoes today through schools, books, to replicate it in digital education, in higher and practice, in law, justice, economics, politics, trade, and culture.
Go ascending you, Jah, ascending you on a mission.
Now, even as those empires crumble, we are confronted with these same and similar processes of imposition, erasure, replication, regurgitating, and repeating itself. Its effects linger in law, governance, political practice, trade, and mercantilist economics, finance.
Go ascending you on a mission to the Caribbean.
The same theology of the Macaulay Minute are now being recorded in algorithms and binary renderings reprogrammed with short-sightedness similar to what has obtained over the last 200 plus years, drawn in monotonously for replication, regurgitation, and repetition. Its biases, prejudices, blindness embed in self-truncating pulses through social media channels where algorithms determine what gets to the front. It resonates through search engines and existing stock of data banks. This time, the massa, mandate, and minute are virtual and for the most part invisible. It is a world running on replication, not imagination, extraction, not equity, data without dignity, systems without soul. We who have not yet fully processed the colonial experience are now confronted with threats of a greater magnitude of cultural and intellectual genocide.
Look around.
Multifold, in new form, looming up as an ever-present, all-encompassing, all-powerful artificial intelligence. And it would not take 200 years. It is now greater than the power or the velocity of the nuclear bomb. Its impact and its effect could be instantaneous. So Mind Charter proposes, in one Macaulay Minute, an entire civilization was shifted from center of human evolution to the margins of Eurasia and dependence. Today, as we are in danger of echoing that age-old design in repeat mode, the program Colonized Human, reprogrammed into AI biases, regurgitated and replicated at speeds faster than light.
He came from Calcutta, was the bag on his shoulder. He told Banani Capra, so I am fancy of India.
In one Google, YouTube, Netflix, social media minute, billions of searches reinforce dominant colonial narratives. Algorithms are erasing us, our thoughts, forms of expressions and beliefs are curtailed to the margins, our creativity exploited without adequate remuneration. In one Microsoft, Adobe, Micron, IBM, NetApp, Palo Alto minute, hardware, software, and tech infrastructure privilege the new masses, standardized visual culture. So there is no notion, for example, of Indo-Trinidadian and Indo-Caribbean on these programs, so we believe. In one SpaceX, the Starlink, Novartis, and Arista minute, profitable markets eclipse human need, computational power concentrates in elite economies, innovation capital circles only the powerful, data ownership favors corporate cause, the backbone of the internet carries bias at machine speed. And once again, humanity's Draupadi stands at the moment of disrobing. And this time, it is not just a Mahabharata war for country. This time, it is a war for survival of human civilization. So flip the script, ladies and gentlemen. In your hands is the power to rewrite the future of our humanity. The hands of this clock may seem invisible, but in this age of the Mahakumbh, when the planets align, when we have sought refresh, renewal, when we are returning the ocean to recreate our world, the time has set up a new set of Pandavas with immense power to rewrite the script of our new age Mahabharata. The faces at the helm and the DNA runs through their blood that carry the legacies of ancestries that stretched into infinity that I found embedded in the soil of Kashi and in India.
This is Kashi. I came here to detach from the world. Instead, I got attached to Kashi, the Nepal.
In your hands is the power to reverse the clock, for while artificial intelligence is a menace, it also has the power with authentic intel, AI analytics, cyber edutainment, all of which have been formulated to reverse the Macaulay Minute and correct the years of civilizational injustice, to restore democracy and our leaves of life into a global knowledge world. Global, local, international,
There is a mystery behind Indian history. Our Sahib Degui from the ancient country. Beyond Kalapani, only half the story. But a secret voice was singing, ascending ascending you on a mission to the Caribbean.
Think of how we can reverse the Google, YouTube, Netflix, Microsoft, IBM, Adobe, SpaceX and Starlink, Novartis and Arista moment. Think of a moment of reversal where together we flip the script. Think of how in 1 Google minute you can make and elevate indigenous languages, local histories and diaspora, knowledge and heritage, storytelling trends, and invisible communities to gain global visibility. In 1 Microsoft minute, Adobe, NetApp, Micron, Palo Alto minute, devices, chips, and tools can empower local innovators and serve to correct bias and blindness and restore balance, prioritizing culture and gender equity and justice with independent thought, restoring the village and the global village, and with community-based research beyond the programmed higher HIRE education system we have inherited. In 1 IBM Novartis Arista minute, connectivity, clean energy, preventative care, affordable medicines, and indigenous healing and knowledge and know-how are accessible and can reach the last mile first.
There is a mystery behind indenture history. Ah, Sahib, take we from the ancient country beyond Kalapani, only half the story.
The moment to take up the quilt of your ancient Panda scribes and Pandava weapons as warriors of the new tech age is now. In your hands is the tablet to command our future selves to reprogram the colonized human, to fund and finance efforts equitable, to allow us to retrieve lost data, to fill in knowledge gaps, to straighten knowledge queues, to eliminate bias, prejudice, discrimination, blindness and imbalance, centralize equality, to set our civilization back on track. In your hands is the tablet to command our future selves to reprogram, to release and reprogram language from its binary monotone to the glorious multiplicity of our many dimensions. Make speech, image, motion, gestures, expression multi-tuned to dialects endangered and in need of revival, as well as those overshadowed in dominant binary culture, corrects bias and create tools that reflect every culture with equal dignity. Your new age war awaits. We stand ready behind you in this battle, and the world is holding its breath. Namaskar, thank you. This is the preamble to my New Age Charter of Reversal. Join me in retuning our civilization. I thank you and look forward to us crafting the new charter together. You can find more on this at www.krisrampersad.com. Make contact with me through Kris Rampersad on YouTube, LinkedIn, Instagram, Pinterest, and at Kris Ramp on X, and Kris Rampersad 1 on Facebook and TikTok as we chart the way forward together. I thank you.
Split into continents, cut up in parts, divided in vain, says the laureate, long before the medical probes find the evidence. My umbilical motherland, one is in the east and one is in the west, buried, hidden, invisible, unknown, unseen, asymptomatic, separated from mother continent. I am an island, the independent kind, an Amazonian, descendant of the first Americaners, ancestors of ancient Pacific Atlantic crisscrossings of discovery long before Kon-Tiki.
I have never been able to contemplate the history of my islands as the isolated story of independence or colonization or even migration, not the recent migrations that brought most of us here, nor even the prehistoric ones. I have pored over maps and drew the invisible line that connects South American rivers and topography with our islands, and looked at biological studies of our flora and fauna, and geological and anthropological and archaeological reports, and even without that, knowing their primordial linkages which we have been taught to forget. To move beyond the self-derision and self-deprecation and discover our ugliness too, and our beauty too, as I trace the imaginary line that connects us, island and continent. This is a liturgy, a praise song for all who came before, and on whose enormous shoulders we stand, hand at war.
siren time.